Alright people, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you'll know when I upload the next video and you'll be supporting my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Every time I upload a new video, I'll be tweeting. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Reacts, and this is Rimworld Review, Deep Space Organ Harvesting. Okay. On the far reaches of space, no one can hear your kidney getting snatched. This is by the channel ssethtzeentach. Alright. So far, all the videos I've reacted from Seth has been epic. Yesterday I reacted to Stalker 1, which is my favorite game, which was also epic. And the sound of it, this is like one of those games, like Dwarf Fortress and things like that. Which is a sandbox, but it's chaotic. Kidney harvesting. Alright, let's watch it.
Hey people, Seth here. Today, I'll be reviewing Rimworld, because it hit 1.0 recently and it's pretty fucking great. It's made by a few people in Montreal, China, including this guy, who wants you to buy his book. Rimworld is a sci-fi colony simulation game, which includes, but is not limited to, forceful organ harvesting, cannibalism, catching carcinomas from breathing in toxic fallout, and cargo pods falling from the sky directly on your favorite animal. Rimworld's got it all. It's very similar in the vein of Dwarf Fortress. You generate a planet, you choose some appropriate colonists, which could either be useful members of society possessing skills that will improve your chances of survival, or mentally challenged apes who can't actually contribute anything meaningful to your colony besides being a walking, breathing, shitting sack of human meat. And then once you've chosen them, you crash land on a location of your choice. The location of your choice could be a reasonable one, like a forest with appropriate vegetation and close proximity to friendly colonies, or you could land in the middle of Malaria Town. Or maybe you'd like to spice things up and crash in a sub-zero ice sheet or a scorching hot desert with no resources. Why would you ever possibly do that? Because it's fun. Your ultimate goal? Get yourself a working ship and get the fuck off this planet. But surviving.
Yeah, in a sandbox type of game, you don't ask why would you do that. Why would you do that? Because you could. That's it.
That long and managing the combined autism of multiple colonists who think beating the shit out of each other just prior to a pirate raid is a good idea will make that exceedingly difficult. When starting a new game, Rimworld asks you to choose from a selection of 3 different AI storytellers. These influence the event and the frequency at which they occur as part of your colony's story. In no particular order, they are Cassandra Classic, who will progressively increase the challenge your colony experiences by sending a pack of alpha beavers to eat all your trees 5 times in a row. There's also Phoebe Chillax, who suffers from bipolar disorder. She does absolutely nothing for several months, making you question whether or not the game is broken. Then she'll send 2 hordes of pirates with sappers who will dig for your defenses while all of your colonists simultaneously catch intestinal parasites from not wearing appropriate protection when eating ass. And then there's Randy Random. Randy doesn't hide the fact that he's out for your blood and doesn't actually give a shit what happens to your colony. Events will happen, good or bad, but they'll happen consistently. Randy has previously sent raids, crashed mechanoid ships containing toxic waste, and started a volcanic winter, all in the span of a single afternoon. But he made up for it shortly after by instantly domesticating every squirrel on the map to join my colony and eat my potatoes. Objectively, Randy is the best storyteller. He follows no set patterns and keeps you guessing and adapting your strategy, whereas Phoebe lulls you into a false sense of security, and Cassandra can go fuck herself. The game is quite innovative in a sense that each colonist has their own background, traits, and personality.
Yeah, damn this type of random storyline, but it has a pattern, which is fucking awesome. In one, obviously there's a constant threat that you realize, but Phoebe's one, I think Phoebe was the one, right? You don't even realize there's a problem until there's an immediate problem, right? Pirates suddenly raid and everybody gets disease and shit. This is why is games like this type of sandbox game has this kind of complex mechanics that no modern games use, right? If a modern game used this kind of AI techniques, right, there is certain patterns and events happen based on that and based on what you're doing, because there's a certain type of pattern, right, to do something like somebody attacks suddenly, like there's some kind of attack to your crops or whatever, just making your life difficult, and this is just randomly generated type of thing. That would be so fucking awesome.
This sounds good in theory. If you've worked in a special needs school before and have experience of tard wrangling, you'll find yourself right at home. Colonists can have traits ranging anywhere from being kind, hardworking, and having exceptional immunity to being neurotic, depressive, and being a hideously deformed mouth breather. Their backgrounds often mesh together with their traits and create an exceptionally volatile, unstable human being. These are quite diverse and colorful, and consist of both a childhood and an adulthood that forms the core of their character. There's probably so many fucking backgrounds that I've never even seen them all. You can have research scientists, medieval slaves, Japanese pop idols, PUBG players, and vat-grown sex slaves all living in the same colony. Or you can get a special snowflake who, due to their pampered childhood and traumatic adulthood, can do no useful work and sexually identifies as limestone. I recommend stripping these people nude, handing them some dog food, and sending them out to the wilderness. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Oh shit, she got captured by pirates. Don't worry. Help is on the way. Characters interact with each other and may even love and hate the shit out of each other. An efficient colony needs a variety of skills and people to survive, as every person shines in different tasks and develops them at different rates according to how much they enjoy it. A digger seasoned in mining will feel right at home chipping away iron and exposing my colony to insect infestations, while the sickly 15-year-old boy I bought from a slave trader may not be the optimal person for crafting leather jackets, owing to the fact that I've replaced both his legs and hands with wooden stumps. And you can do that. Every body part can be replaced with prosthetic and bionic parts, because people tend to lose them, whether through a stray bullet or getting pecked out by an ostrich. Accidents happen. Rimworld has a fully functional body part and organ system for every living creature in the game. Parts can get damaged, scarred, burned, infected, and chopped right off. And that's about the gist of it for colonists. For the colony itself, you need to adapt to different environmental and physical threats as you slowly grow and expand. In between threats, you can even research new and additional technology, giving you access to equipment, resources, and structures that increase your self-sufficiency. You can also...
Yeah, this is really good game, man. Especially the mechanics, right? The diversity of things that can happen, things that your colony can do, basically. And, I don't even get it. How do, people who made games like this, basically predict everything that you can do in the game or something? Like, we should put this, we should put this, we should put this. Like, they just know what kind of a weird people are going to play this game and gonna do some weird shit in this world. Because games like this has way too much details, right? I mean, if you think, can I do this? You probably can. And that's because the developers thought of that. That is just surreal. And all the different type of, people that can attack, different type of things can happen. Somebody's, mining or something, some kind of a box come out of them, right? Some pirates can attack. Some guy can literally come after you and attack you in many different ways. This is a, details type of, AI mechanics. Basically, they use a pattern to attack, right? Like he said, it's different type of storylines, which has a pattern to it. Every time you play a game, it will probably be different.
Also open up the world map and send caravans to trade with friendly colonies, take missions and improve diplomatic relations. You can even start additional colonies, get ambushed by flesh-eating turtles, build pod launchers, and fire a dozen super soldiers dressed in power armor straight into a colony and commit genocide. Rimworld 1.0 really has it all. Aside from handling food, energy, appropriate accommodations, and clothing, defense is probably your most important priority. No matter how well your colony is doing, an unexpected attack can decimate your entire base. Luckily, the AI is pretty predictable, and even the smarter AI patterns can be learned and manipulated. This leads to people constructing increasingly elaborate and sadistic kill boxes, labyrinthine trap mazes, Romanian corpse freezers, engineered cave-ins, and walk-in Holocaust ovens. Temperature dynamics work quite nicely in this game, so one of my favorite defensive strategies is to bait raiders into entering my base through a narrow, creeping tunnel of granite. As they manage to slowly crawl halfway through the tunnel, I quickly go all Edgar Allan Poe on them and seal the entrance behind them. Since we don't want our guests to get cold, I tell one of my colonists to start a nice roaring fire near the exit, using some conveniently placed furniture. We seal the door shut, and that's when they make the realization the walls are covered in scratches. The tunnel heats to several hundred degrees Celsius. Clothing ignites, flesh fries, and skin melts off a bone. Each man will dig and claw
fucking kidding me. You can do that shit. See, again, see what I said. He created a tunnel. He closed one side, and other side is burning. And this game is a mechanics that basically just thinks that okay, one side is closed, one side is burning. So that whole tunnel must basically filled up with smoke, and I guess they increase the heat or something like that. Otherwise, you would just think that oh, they're trapped now, because no way game knows that somebody can do this, right? So at best they're trapped, or they're just walking to fire. No. Entire tunnel heats up. This is ridiculous.
Walls in futile desperation, tearing their nails out while their organs boil. And then Randy will drop a cargo pod containing milk. The best trait, of course, is psychopath. That's a bit of a segue, but I felt that I should talk about my current colony. I exclusively recruit psychopaths because they practice what I call moral relativism, and I practice what some would call an organ harvesting operation, which personally I find to be a very offensive and bigoted term to describe non-consensual organ arbitrage. Why do I do it? Because it's very profitable. A human in Rimworld can provide you with free healthy organs before they need to rest. One of his kidneys, one of his lungs, and a free choice between his liver or heart. My colony makes every attempt to grow smoothly and weed out undesirables who can't adapt to corporate culture. This one didn't dodge so well. At least he'll make a good sofa. It's amazing how quickly this game turns you into a monster. Surprisingly though, every faction loves me. Besides the raiders, even on the frontiers.
Oh my god, seriously man, imagine a kid playing that. Wait a minute, you can do that? And just constantly doing that over and over again. Then sooner or later he realizes, wait a minute, what am I turning into?
Of civilization, you can't escape the unwashed horde of human rights activism. The soundtrack is pretty alright, but Tanan keeps asking me to buy it separately, together with his book. The graphics are pretty clean and simple, and have a certain charm to how minimalistic they are. It's very utilitarian in its appearance, but still very pleasant. To close off, Rimworld is very expansive with its content right now, and can easily consume hours and days of your life. It's very addictive, challenging, and frustrating. I simultaneously give my highest recommendation and a word of caution, since I genuinely believe my blood pressure and cortisol levels sharply rise when playing this game. It's fucking great. And there's always mods to fix all the broken shit. Go play it. Enjoy it. Get 2 psychic ships crashing in the middle of your base and never touch that retarded shit ever again. Oh, at least Randy sent me more milk. A warm thank you to the many members of the Merchants Guild, which have...
Seriously, this is fucking awesome game. I can't believe games like this exist, man. I'm reading to Seth's video, right? And I'm discovering games that I didn't even know this kind of games basically existed. This kind of a detail, right? This kind of a detail in mechanics, AI, basically developers thinking that, okay, you can do this, you can do this. Or fuck it, what if they close off the, tunnel? Oh, they'll suffocate, right? That, basically the temperature would rise so high that they would basically die. I mean, this is just, this is why people play a certain type of open world RPG games. Like, can we do this? Can we do this? Right? They should play games like this. Like, oh, in this, you have no idea what the fuck you can do. This is like, Space Station 13 also is kind of similar in that way, where Dwarf Fortress is like that, and this is now Rimworld. Alright, well, this was Rimworld review, deep space organ harvesting. As soon as he said that deep space organ harvesting, like, I know that it's something like that. Alright, if you like my Rickson, don't forget to subscribe, check out the Rickson, there's a link in the description, check out the cards, check out the ink cards, and yeah, I'll see you next time.